Landeta's kicked 3 lousy punts. Of course, he added a few adjectives to it.
Looks like Parcells has a personal vendetta with that guy.
Second and 8.
So early.
The safety blitz was on, and it's incomplete, intended for Craig. Greg Jackson came flying through, and here's a guy who's picked up 4 sacks already this season, and he's got a teammate on his sideline right now, Dave Duerson, who holds the NFL record since they've been keeping sacks by defensive backs. That started back in 1982.
One of the most underrated defensive backs around. He has played great at that strong safety position. And tonight he's being asked to play almost as a linebacker in this nickel defense. The Giants continue to go with the 5 defensive backs.
Third down 8, 49ers from the 21. Sidney goes in motion. 4-man rush. Montana needs help, improvises, throws it away again, and we are set for our 8th punt of the night.
Thus far, the 49ers should think about going back to the drawing board, because what they are calling is just not working against this defense. The play before this, they had a flood to the right, and I'm sure George Seifert is thinking just the same thing. They had a flood to the right. There wasn't one receiver open. That time, downfield wasn't open, and they had to throw it away.
And you saw the Giants saying to Hamer, hey, when are you going to call grounding here?
Look at the coverage. And there's no, it wasn't Montana, but this time he's in trouble as a man crosses over the middle. He has to throw it away.
Well, Mike Wilson was the closest 49er receiver. He was a good 10 yards away.
Here's Helton's kick, very inartistic. And it plots down at the 43-yard line.
Natural
blocked by Mike Fox.
A natural surface will not give you much of a roll either.
No.
We've seen some very poor punting tonight.
We've seen a lot of poor stuff so far tonight.
Under Landeta said, look at that, Bill. He can't kick either.
Miami went to Washington with the NFL's #1 ranked defense, but the Redskins had a field day against it, both in the air and on the ground. Ernest Biner, standing in for the injured Gerald Riggs, went over in the first quarter from 2 yards to give the Redskins a 7-0 lead. Then in the second, Mark Rippon hit Art Monk from 6 yards out for the first passing touchdown against Don Shula's team in 6 games. Back to the ground, Ernest Biner from 7 yards, and Miami's #1 rated defense was missing tackles. Not so the Redskins. Dan Marino had a terrible first half, intercepted once and sacked once. In the second half, it was more of the same. This 21-yard pickup by Biner took the Redskins all the way down to the 1, and from there, Rippon play faked and found Jimmy Johnson, the tight end, in the end zone. Back to Ernest Biner, picking up 13 of his 157 yards on this run, and his 3rd touchdown of the day. Needless to say, his best day of the season. At 35-6 in the 4th, Miami looked beaten, but then Marino went to work, scrambling in his own fashion and hitting James Pruitt. That was 35-13. Then, on the first play after the kickoff, the defense joined in. Jarvis Williams picking off Mark Rippon and going 41 yards for the touchdown. Any thoughts of a comeback, though, were quashed when Rippon threw his 3rd touchdown pass and Art Monk's 2nd catch, as the Redskins won it 42-20.
The image of it.
Beautiful Coit Tower on Telegraph Hill in San Francisco, built to honor San Francisco's firefighters. A spectacular sight. We'll take an elevator ride to the top. Great tourist attraction. And back we come to Candlestick. Giants from the 43, Anderson to the outside, and Ronnie Lott finally runs them out of bounds after a gain of 5 up to the 48. First half so far. Been a punting duel, 4 for Helton, 4 for Landeta. And there it is, every Giant possession resulting in a punt.
If you just joined us, you haven't missed a whole lot.
Yep. Well, we mentioned at the top, it had the makings early on of that, the classic heavyweight fight, a little feeling out process, but the crowd is ready for a few haymakers here.
I can assure you there is intensity down there. There is major league hitting.
2nd and 6. Sims, it's caught by Bavaro. It's a first down, and Lott rides him down at the 29-yard line. And there is your first haymaker, 23-yard pickup.
And I wonder if Ronnie Lott is thinking back to 1986 when Mark Bavaro gave him about a 10-yard ride. But this time, Bavaro comes across the middle. They chuck him at the line of scrimmage, try to cover him with Haley. That's not good at all. Haley's a great football player, but you cannot cover a Bavaro. And Bavaro, who still perhaps is only about 95% with the bad knee, gets the first down inside the 30.
Just to follow up, he was ejected last week. He was fined $500, which is the normal fine. The case, though, is still being reviewed by the league. He could be suspended. It's possible. The case is not closed. To the 29-yard line, no gain for Hampton. The reason, of course, is that there was contact with one of the officials in Philadelphia last week, and the league is still looking at it. And here was that play in '86 to which Frank referred.
You didn't see this, you're not going to believe it.
Watch
the Giants
Lott
coming back from 17 points down, and this was what set off an eruption that ultimately brought the Giants the victory. That's almost impossible. And it was Ronnie Lott who took the major ride in '86, and I think he was maybe thinking about it a few moments ago.
And the Giants rode that play right to the Super Bowl. 2nd and 10. Fake to Hampton. Sims with room to roam. But coming up to make the tackle is Bill Romanowski at the 27-yard line.
Oh, great job by Darryl Pollard. Deep downfield. Sims was trying to get the ball upfield to Ingram, and Pollard just would not let him get by. Pollard a bit like the Giants' Mark Collins. Very underrated in his man-to-man coverage ability.
Giants at the 26, 3rd down and 7. 7:45 remaining. First half, no score. Meggett is in. Number 30, Sims in the gun. 49ers rush 6. And that opens it up for Ingram over the middle. He takes it to the 19, very close to a first down. Don Griffin makes the tackle, and it is a first down for New York.
One of the rare times the Giants will go to the outside receiver. This is only the 15th reception for Ingram. And they just don't go outside. They've been going to the tight ends and the running backs. But Ingram coming all the way across the field. He has the coverage by Griffin, but he is open, and the Giants gave Sims time to deliver.
7 minutes remaining. First quarter, no score. First down, Giants at the 49er 18. Anderson, Waymer, Millen, Pollard pushing back. Forward progress to about the 16. It's a gain of 2. Candlestick Park, home of the San Francisco Giants and the 49ers. So the Giants play here in all seasons.
Beautiful night, too. I know you have been here so many times covering baseball, this being your former home.
Well, the best weather of the year is during the fall. It's far better here during football season than baseball season. Winter comes in July here.
It's been a spectacular few days out here.
2nd and 9 at the 17. That's Cross in motion. Anderson takes it to the 14. That's going to set up a 3rd and 6. Michael Carter, the nose tackle, 95, makes the stop.
Giants trying to get it done with the 2 tight end, going against the #1 defense in the league against the rush. The 49ers.
If you're just joining us, 8 punts, 4 by each team. Only 1 field goal attempted, a missed effort by Mike Hofer. And this is the first time the Giants have been in true field goal range. 3rd and 6.
3 wide receivers and Meggett.
Meggett in motion. And they even send Hampton into the pattern. And Sims releases, and it's deflected and caught by Stephen Baker after it bounced off the hands of Rodney Hampton. 1st and goal at the 3.
I'll tell you, that's some good hand stuff. Great concentration on the part of Baker. Sims drilled it into Hampton. He didn't handle it. And it was spinning and spiraling as it came into the hands of Baker. Good protection once again. Actually deflected away by Waymer. Great effort by Stephen Baker.
First and goal, New York at the 3. Anderson, maybe a yard, maybe less. Second and goal. This drive commenced at the Giant 44-yard line. 4:25 to go, first half.
So many people, when they think about the 49ers and a word to apply to that team, they come up with words like finesse. Well, there is really not a great deal of finesse involved with this man's defensive team. You can see the lack of success the Giants are having trying to challenge the 49er defensive line. Holt, Fagan, Carter, they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Second and goal with 3 tight ends in the alignment. The play fake. Sims under pressure, throws too high. Off the fingertips of Mark Bavaro in the end zone. It'll be third and goal.
That time pressure on Sims and good coverage in the end zone. Sims wanted to roll to the outside, and the pressure that Dan spoke of a moment ago, and they are ruling the line of scrimmage, forced him to stay in the pocket.
This year, after first and goal, the Giants have been able to put it into the end zone roughly 7 of 8 times. Second highest percentage in the league. And now they're faced with a third and goal against the Niner defense, which is #1 in the league against the run and 19th against the pass. And Parcells is going to take a timeout here, the first timeout of the game, with 3:54 remaining in the first half. No score, third and goal when we come back.
Wakey wake, everybody. We have a drive going on. Harry, what's going on? There's a drive. The team is moving. The Giants moving the ball. What are they doing right?
The Giants are moving the ball in the air. They're not really moving the ball on the ground as they're accustomed to doing. One reception by Bavaro, one by Ingram, and that last one by Stephen Baker. Big plays.
Are you glad to see that, or would you rather see more balance, more running?
Well, you know, I'm kind of partial to the Giants, so I want them to just move the ball and get the ball in the end zone. Somebody, please get the ball in the end zone.
Well, let's go back to Candlestick Park and see if they get in the end zone.
Here comes Sims now. Ron Earhart is the Giants offensive coordinator. Sims huddling with Parcells. Third and goal.
Good move. The Giants a little uncertain. They use a timeout. Scoreless game. You don't want to blow it when you get down this close.
Baker and Ingram are both split to the left. And Carthen is on a wing to the right. Anderson is the sole setback. Anderson behind some blocking, but no room at all. Stopped at the 2.5.
Well, a most interesting series of calls by the Giants, who get ultra conservative. They get a break, they catch a lucky ride on a deflected pass. It's a completion, and then 3 shots. They don't get anywhere near the goal line, and the 49ers defensively are playing one fine ball game. Aided a bit by some interesting play calling by the Giants.
Matt Barr, the longtime Brown, who spent part of 1982 with the 49ers, boots it through. So finally some points up on the board. A 20-yard field goal for Matt Barr culminates this drive with 3:26 remaining in the half.
All right, so we have a score. 3-0 to the Giants. Harry, a big play there was a ball was deflected and caught by the receiver. How bad is that for a defensive player to see that happen?
Well, when you work your butt off over and over and over and give up a play like that, you know, it really takes a little something out of the defense. That was a lucky play by Stephen Baker.
Well, I'm glad you said "but" there. Good start. The Giants are now leading 3-0. Let's get back to Candlestick Park.
I'd wonder, could not the Giants come up with something a little more imaginative, take a timeout, come in running against the strength of the 49er defense. We mentioned earlier the #1 defense against the run in the league, but it did appear as though Phil Simms changed the play at the line of scrimmage, turned around, and it appeared that he did make the change, but I'm sure if he made the change, it was one that was expected to be made according to the defensive alignment. But again, not very dramatic, not very imaginative selection of plays.
Barr kicks off, taken up at the 7-yard line by Spencer Tillman, who breaks it out past the 30 to the 37. With 3:16 to play in the first half. 30-yard run back for the former Oklahoma Sooner. There is Bo Jackson. Big day yesterday. Raiders beat Denver. Raiders tied with KC for the lead in the AFC West. They head east to meet the Lions and Barry Sanders at the Silverdome next Monday.
That touchdown run yesterday against Denver, it looked like a very speedy Jimmy Brown. Knocking over Broncos all the way.
First down, 49ers at the 36-yard line. Here's Craig for a gain of 5 up to the 41-yard line. Eric Howard and Pepper Johnson converge on the stop. 3:05 remaining in the half. And all 3 timeouts at San Francisco's disposal.
I don't think we'll see many runs like that on this drive. The clock under 2:50. They got a good return. Time for the 49ers to make a little something happen here offensively.
2nd and 5. Craig in motion. Pressure on Montana. He releases low, intended for Taylor at his feet. He was covered by Williams.
He was open. Another bad pass by Montana. That's the 49ers passing offense. Nothing terribly imaginative about it, but you get the ball to speedy wide receivers like Rice and Taylor and then let them do the rest on the run. That time Montana didn't do his part. Montana shaking his head and Seifert shaking his head.
3rd and 6. Rice still without a catch tonight. Top of your screen, Taylor split left. Montana goes underneath to Craig. He has a first down. He's inside the Giant 40, and he's run down at the 27 by Greg Jackson.
And this is what you have to take if you can't go to the outside receivers, Taylor and Rice. You've got to take Craig over the middle. You've got to take the tight end in the middle, Brent Jones. And the Giants have taken away the Taylor and Rice threat, but they have left the Craig open over the middle.
This will take us to the 2-minute warning. Niners have a 1st and 10 at the Giant 28-yard line. All 3 timeouts remaining.
Craig coming out of the backfield, no one even with him. And he gets the 49ers in great field position with 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Well, is this the resurrection of Roger Craig? Good run there.
It's a big play by Roger Craig. He was one-on-one with Pepper Johnson. He left Pepper Johnson really just reaching for him. Really big play. Pepper really can't keep up with the running back. He's great stopping the run, but as far as pass coverage, he lacks a little something.
As far as we've seen this now, Craig going over the middle. Before last week, the Giants hadn't given up a touchdown to a wide receiver of another team. Does that open it up for the Roger Craigs, the tight ends down the middle?
Well, the Giants are playing good defense on Jerry Rice right now, and by them playing that excellent defense, they're giving something up with the other part of the offense. As a result, they were able to, the 49ers were able to hit Roger Craig, who was isolated on Pepper Johnson. I'm sure that Brent Jones is going to get his share of receptions as the night wears on.
Why is it over the years that the Giants have had so much success against Rice and Taylor of stopping them when other teams can't do it?
Well, the Giants have a very good defensive coaching staff. Bill Belichick does an excellent job of preparing these guys, the secondary, and covering the receivers and also getting a good pass rush on the quarterbacks.
All right, well, let's go back to the game. This is not the Werewolf of London you're about to see. It is the game between the Giants and the 49ers.
Don't be alarmed. This is on tape. We just taped this a minute ago while we were in commercial. Shot of the moon. We're setting it up for coming out of commercial. And San Francisco International Airport is close by. And
That is
Spielberg
couldn't have planned it
that way. I mean, that's amazing.
the early flight to St. Louis.
I think that's a, is that a
Looks like a 727.
I was going to say.
Back to reality.
2 minutes to go. First half. 3-0 New York. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Roger Craig taken down by Gary Reasons after a gain of 5 to the 23-yard line. Clock ticking, 1:45 to go in the half.
No huddle offense for the 49ers. Play having already been called. Montana looks it over to see if he wants to change.
2nd and 5 at the 23. And Montana fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Taylor.
You can stop them for a long time, but sooner or later you keep going to them, they're going to get you.
Well, the Giants right there paid the price for coming with a 3-man pass rush. Lawrence Taylor dropped off into coverage. They send 3 defensive linemen. They don't get anywhere near Joe Montana.
And Mark Collins, top of your screen, tied up man for man on Taylor. They double Rice on the other side. Perfectly thrown.
Hofer for the point after. Helton will put it down. San Francisco by 4 with 90 seconds remaining in the half.
What a pair of weapons. You saw Montana, he pump faked to Jerry Rice. That kept the safety from dropping into the coverage. That was Everson Walls who had the deep hole, you can see here, but he went for the pump fake to Rice. Montana comes off, and Collins with man for man could not stay with Taylor. Again, perfectly thrown to John Taylor. Great pair of weapons. A lot of question this week as to whether Taylor would be able to go. In trouble over the past few weeks with a very sore knee.
Montana throwing his 25th touchdown pass of the season. Taylor with his 6th touchdown reception this year. 7-3 49ers with 1.5 minutes to go in the half. When the Giants get the ball back, they have 2 timeouts remaining. Hampton and Meggett drop back to receive the kick from Kofor. Bounces at the 14, fielded by Meggett on the run at the 7. And brought to the ground with a flag at the 26-yard line. Spencer Tillman in on the tackle. Dale Hamer, the referee. Goes against the Giants.
Illegal block, number 34, on the return, first down.
Lewis Tillman.
I think that penalty that will back the Giants up should pretty much resolve what we will see offensively on the part of the Giants with 1:23 remaining in the half.
Well, also you have to keep in mind the 49ers have all 3 of their timeouts. If the Giants are going to be content to just plop this ball up in the line of scrimmage 3 times, I think the 49ers will use their timeouts and stop the clock.
Certainly the way Landette has been punting.
Excellent point. First down at the 16-yard line. Sims off the play fake. Caught by Anderson. And he stopped for no gain or a minimal one at best. Cox and Waymer in on the stop. Second down.
I can't believe the 49ers are letting the clock go.
105 and ticking.
Hey, you've got a 2nd and long yardage situation. You still have all 3 timeouts. Why not take a chance to get the ball back?
Well, maybe on 3rd down for sure. But maybe they're thinking, hey, if you give New York another opportunity and then you wind up getting burned, I don't know.
When they're on their own 15-yard line? And you can't think about getting burned in that situation.
2nd down and 11 at the 15. And here's Anderson out to about the 20. In a way, Dan, it's exactly the way the half has been played, very close to the vest.
Yeah, and I think this is a little too conservative for me.
Well, nobody's going to stop the clock.
Well, Bill Parcells couldn't be happier. I mean, he didn't even have to get a first down, and he didn't even have to punt. That's the most he could have asked for, and he got it.
We'll feature him at the half. Teams leave the field after the first 30 minutes of play. 8 punts in the half. 1 touchdown and 1 field goal in the half. Our halftime score is San Francisco 7, New York 3. Back we come after this.
Well, the commentators curse. We just told them that they were stopping them. They're holding them well done. Year after year, they've held them. They come on and score. Your first impressions of this first half?
Well, you know, it seems like they're somewhat disappointed by the first half and lack of offense. I'm kind of impressed with the defensive play of both teams. I think they've played very well. I know the Giants are capable of scoring at any time, and 49ers are always very dangerous.
All right, well, it's time for us to take a commercial break so you can go and take care of the business, get some more coffee, and the halftime score here is 7-3. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Or taboo? Which one are you?
Before you go out, you must buy detergent and fabric softener. And don't forget my purse.
That's not enough. I'm dead. What's that? Bold Ultra all-in-one. Planes, the softener in it. I've got enough. Thanks, but no thanks.
You made a good choice. It's all clean. I didn't even need a separate softener. Was it expensive?
Actually, it costs less than the auto.
Less? Brilliant. Then we'll be buying your Bold Ultra from now on, won't you?
Brilliant.
New Bold Ultra all-in-one. It's where the ultra-smart money goes.
Down at Pizza Hut, you can now get one of our exclusive medium feast pizzas for 2 for just $6.79. Choose either our meat feast pizza with 4 different kinds of meat, or our cheese feast pizza with our special blend of 3 cheeses piled high with any 2 toppings of your choice.
Here you are.
Whichever one you choose, it's good to know that the only thing we've reduced is the bill. Great feast pizzas for $6.79. At Pizza Hut, you've got it made.
Chat rap 900 100 0839 Chat rap 900 100
Karaoke party! What's karaoke? We give you superb backing music. You sing the songs like this. And this. You and your friends will have fun you wouldn't believe singing along to Karaoke Party. It's the sing-along sensation of the 90s. Imagine you're Elvis, the Beatles, or even Roy Orbison. 40 of the most popular karaoke tracks with full lyrics. Be a star with Karaoke Party. It's fun, it's wild, it's in your record shops now.
This is rapport. Rapport aftershave. This could be forever.
Make yourself comfortable on the veranda, Auntie.
Comfortable?
Cake, Auntie?
Didn't think you'd run to that sort of thing out here.
Try this, Auntie.
Mm.
There you are.
I hope they're fresh.
I don't know why you put up with her. Well, you got to have something to keep the flies off your beer.
Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're feeling better. Now, Harry.
Yeah.
There's a man that keeps coming up on this telecast, and you keep seeing him, and you never see him on the field, but he's on the sideline. Bill Parcells. How important is he to this Giants team?
Bill Parcells is the Giants. The team is made in his image. He has gotten the team together. He has the kind of players on the team that he wants. I was a part of that team for a long time. I know how he operates. He gets each player motivated in his own way.
You've got a Mark Bavaro and a Lawrence Taylor, two hopelessly different people.
Different ends of the spectrum.
How does he do that? How does he keep both of that type of player motivated?
Well, he has to know that individual and what makes him tick. He can yell and scream at Lawrence, and sometimes they curse at each other. With Mark Bavaro, he has to approach him very gingerly because Mark is a very sensitive, very quiet individual.
I know in the locker room now, Bill is talking about the last touchdown, and he's got some points, and he wishes he had some videotape to look at to see what happened. Now, can you tell us what your thoughts are on that touchdown as a defensive player?
Well, as a defensive player, the first thing is, you know, there was very little pressure up the middle, and I think that's what the Giants wanted to do. As a result, it gave Montana an opportunity to hit John Taylor. All evening, everybody's been talking about Jerry Rice, but as you can see right there, they wanted to put pressure up the middle. It was not as effective as they wanted it to be. Montana makes things happen when he's on the field. He's a super athlete, very mobile, very versatile, and I was impressed with the strength or the zip that he had on that ball because it was like on a line right from Montana's fingertips to Taylor's midsection.
They put one-on-one for the cornerbacks here. Were you surprised at that?
No, not really. One of the things that made that play go was that Montana was looking to his left. As a result, it drew Everson Walls to his right or Montana's left. So Everson Wall was out of position, and Mark Collins should have had some help. As a result of Montana looking left, all of the help was away from
the players on the 49ers side, as they were coming off, high-fiving, and they looked relieved. But I have a question here first. We hear a lot about the offense when it's a no-huddle offense, and I think the majority of people in Britain now understand the no-huddle offense. But we also hear about the prevent defense, and they'll say we've got the prevent defense. I personally, as a player, hated it, because whenever the Falcons went into a prevent defense, it meant the team opposite us was about to score 7 points. Did they just go into a prevent defense?
They went into somewhat of a prevent defense, but I think it was just good offense by Joe Montana and the 49ers. Even if they had applied some pressure, I think Montana would have made that toss that he just made to John Taylor. But, you know, the 49ers right now, they've got gas in their tanks. That's an expression that Bill Parcells would use, and they know now that they can compete and play against the Giants and look for the 49ers going out making some big plays in the second half.
All right, well, you talked about gas there. If you only had time to get a cup of tea, you may as well go and take rest of the care of the rest of the business. We'll be back after this commercial.
Drambuie is arguably the world's most delicious liqueur. But it does have one rival. The fact is, you can enjoy Drambuie all over the world, except in Tibet, where the locals just can't resist the seductive charms of fermented yak's milk. That's not a yak.
Drambuie. Today the world, tomorrow Tibet.
Now, let's see how good your powder really is.
On muck like this, my old powder had its work cut out. It did pretty well, considering. Then I discovered Ariel Ultra. Who'd think something this simple would make such a difference?
Look, with socks this filthy, this is sometimes what the best traditional powder can do, but Ariel Ultra gives you visibly better cleaning.
And with my look, could I settle for anything less?
Ariel Ultra, visibly better cleaning.
Chat today the fun yak to yak way. Call 0898 22 6622 now.
Kids don't think about germs. Tests have shown that with some bleaches, germs breed again after the lavatory's been flushed, but long-lasting Vortex goes on killing germs. Vortex protects.
I'm home, Mum. So the superstar's caught a cold. I'll just have to mother him with Vapor Rub until he gets better.
Follow the Vicks Vapor Rub 1, 2, 3 treatment. 1 on the back, 2 on the throat, 3 on the chest. Its vapors help clear the nose, calm the cough, and it warms and soothes the body.
He takes the ball into the box and foul.
Time for your Vapor Rub.
Him first. I feel better already.
Vicks Vapor Rub helps you feel 1, 2, 3 times better.
I suppose you use some exotic conditioner. I don't. It's my shampoo. Head and Shoulders?
No, it's new Head & Shoulders 2-in-1. Dandruff shampoo and conditioner.
We've combined a special conditioner with Head & Shoulders to make new 2-in-1 for dandruff-free, beautifully conditioned hair.
You don't need a separate conditioner then.
I don't.
New Head & Shoulders 2-in-1.
The new Filler Shave. Improved shaving performance. Wider slots lift and cut for our best shaving performance ever. With personal minutes left indicator. The new Filler Shave. The pursuit of excellence.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
That's original.
Emerson High, 1975. You're in my class.
I was your teacher.
What helps keep skin looking young? Oil of Ulay twice a day. It works like skin's natural fluids to replace lost moisture.
Miss Fitzhenry?
Bugsy Brown.
Oil of Ulay twice a day.
Wow.
The secret of young-looking skin.
Welcome back, everybody. Last week, the 49ers lost to the Rams 28-17, and a lot of the players were saying the gods of football were turning against them. Do you believe maybe the gods of football have started to turn around the luck of the 49ers?
I think last week, a lot of teams knew that it was their time to either step out front and play good football or just pack it in for the rest of the season. And I think anytime you get the Rams and the 49ers together, or the Giants and the Eagles together, it really doesn't matter what happened the rest of the season, because those are rivalries, and the players know each other so well, and they get so intense that it has to be more or less a pick-em game. And the team that is playing at home usually has the advantage, but it really wasn't the case for the 49ers last week.
Coming into this game, there was a tremendous build-up. It was almost like a Super Bowl in the media.
Yeah.
Do you think that's affected the players and how they're playing tonight?
I think the players are somewhat uptight. I know the fans are all hyped up and very excited about this game. The players seem to be a little tight, and I think they will loosen up in the second half.
All right, well, let's go back to Candlestick Park. The halftime score is, of course, 7-3 to the San Francisco 49ers.
Back for the
Enjoy
second
the rest
half
of the game.
Candlestick Park, San Francisco. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf, Bill Sims, and the Giants will be getting the ball at the outset of the second half. Very conservative first half. 7-3. 49ers lead by 4. Montana to Taylor, the only touchdown in the first 30 minutes of action. Hampton and Meggett are back for the Giants. Mike Kofer to kick off for San Francisco. Hampton at the 14. Back out to the 33-yard line. First half stats reflective of the conservatism. As we look at the numbers, neither team with a turnover. We've had no turnovers, we've had no fumbles, period, and no sacks.
Although we did have one significant play in a backfield. That was by Charles Haley on the Giants' first possession that knocked the Giants out of field goal range and forced the Landeta punt. So didn't count as a sack. It was even better than a sack for that man right there, Charles Haley, who has his share. He's already got a dozen sacks on the year.
Phil Simms has completed a half dozen passes. He is 6 for 14 as we start the third quarter. Anderson works to the outside and takes it up to the 35-yard line. Pollard and DeLong converge on the stop after a gain of about 3.
Well, that was a nice play at the point of attack by Charles Haley, a guy who I think his reputation in this league is mostly as a pass rusher, but that time he stuffs it at the line of scrimmage. Watch this. He's across from Doug Riesenberg, takes on Riesenberg, gives no ground, moves upfield, takes on Maurice Carthen, and actually forces Otis Anderson all the way to the outside. That's a fine piece of work there by Charles Haley.
2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line. On the ground, Anderson again, gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 5. Matt Millen makes the tackle with some help.
This is a Giant offensive line that is missing John Elliott over at left tackle. He's been out now for the better part of 2 months, and this is a line, though, that has had a lot of success in just bulldozing people off the line of scrimmage. Well, that success has come to a screeching halt here tonight.
Elliott also has the worst, there he is, he has the worst kind of injury for a team because they haven't put him on injured reserve, meaning every week he has to be on the inactive list and can't be replaced on the roster. 3rd and a short 5 at the 37. Simms hit as he throws, deflected and incomplete. Off the hands of Baker, it was Larry Roberts who forced the issue.
49ers coming with the blitz. They did not have the right numbers. Meggett stepped up and picked up one blitzer, but they couldn't account for all of them.
Well, that time Eric Moore, the left tackle, it's his responsibility to block Roberts, and he didn't get off at the snap. I don't know if the crowd noise was too much, but you can see number 60 there. He did not respond at all. Roberts gets upfield and gets a relatively clear shot at Phil Simms.
Landetta's 5th punt of the night is his best of the night. Taylor fields at the 7, looks for blocking. Up past the 20 and tripped up at the 25-yard line. Bobby Abrams was the guy who got a hand on him. Otherwise, he gets just one man to beat.
That one man would have been Landeta once again. 49ers setting up well on their special teams with John Taylor returning the punt.
56-yard kick, 25-yard run back.
You'll seldom see a guy get tackled with less of his body being hit than this. Watch how little of Taylor Abrams gets. I mean, right on the heel of the shoe. And John Taylor goes down. There's a lunging Abrams. And he really, what he does is he forces both of Taylor's legs to hit each other, and that's how he goes down.
From the 31-yard line, Roger Craig picks up about 2. Eric Howard in on the tackle.
I don't know why the 49ers aren't throwing the ball on first down more. I mean, this is a team that lives by the pass, and yet more often than I would do it, are trying to stuff the ball into the line of scrimmage on first down, setting up what Mike Holmgren told us last night he just doesn't want to see, and that is the 2nd and long. Now the Giants defensively are dictating to the 49ers in this situation.
Particularly, Dan, against a prevent defense, 5 defensive backs, you should be able to run against it.
Look out.
2nd and 8. Pressure is on. It's caught by Rice. His initial catch of the evening results in a first down. Myron Guyton made the tackle, and Montana was able to get it away despite Lawrence Taylor.
Rice with the patented all the way across the field. You have to protect Montana to give them time to execute this play, but Rice comes from clear across the field, and here is the dilemma that has been confronting Lawrence Taylor all night long.
He blows the corner on Bubba Paris, and Montana has the time to find Jerry Rice. Look how close, though, Montana comes to taking a big shot in the back. You know it can't last long that number 80 is not a part of this game.
13-yard pickup. First down at the 46-yard line. Montana off the fake. Buys a lot of time and a lot of room and airs it out, and it's incomplete, intended for Mike Wilson, who'd gotten position on Mark Collins, who had jumped, but he couldn't hold on. Mike Wilson, who has 4 Super Bowl rings. He's been here 10 years.
Collins and Wilson are man for man. Let's watch the coverage. Collins is looking into the backfield, looking at Montana. All of a sudden, Montana releases it deep. Collins goes up very early, right there.
Well, it looks like he actually stumbled over Mike Wilson's foot. It's not often that you'll see a defensive back that never once looks at the receiver. Mark Collins at time from the original line of scrimmage looked at no one except Joe Montana.
2nd and 10. Craig on a sweep into Giant territory. Tackled by Pepper Johnson at the 47-yard line. Behind McIntyre and Barton on that sweep.
That looked vaguely familiar. Now that's what the 49ers would like to be doing. Pulling both guards, leading Craig and getting the key blocks and getting big yardage out of it.
And Craig slow in getting up.
Pepper Johnson this time walks right up into the line of scrimmage. That delays him a bit in getting out. But he is the first Giant that gets to Roger Craig. There aren't many teams in the league that still try to get both of their guards out in front of the play. The 49ers are one of those teams, and you see that Roger Craig hobbled a bit, is over on the bench.
Meanwhile, Jerry Rice lines up in the backfield and goes in motion. 3rd and 3. Dexter Carter is in the game. Fake toss to him. Taylor puts the pressure on Montana, and the pass is dropped by Jones. Montana able to get it away. Taylor still sackless tonight, and Roger Craig, who missed some time earlier this year with a knee problem. Looks like he has maybe a rib problem here.
Taylor becoming a factor in the early going of the 3rd quarter. This time Montana had to release that before he wanted to. Jones had not come clear yet for the first down yardage, and credit that one to Taylor.
And doing something that he very much wanted to do, and that's move around a little bit. He moved to the opposite side of the formation, had some success.
Helton to punt on 4th and 4. His 5th punt of the night and the 10th punt of the game. And the 49ers can't keep it in. Greg Cox was down there, but it bounces into the end zone. And that will give New York the ball at the 20-yard line. 10:49 remaining. Roger Craig, meanwhile, is going off at least temporarily to the 49er locker room. A look at how he hurt himself.
Nothing extraordinary. Of course, he has been favoring a sore knee. We'll get a report in a moment.
The Browns are on their worst losing streak for 15 years. Before Sunday's game with the Rams, Jim Schaffner said they wouldn't lose another. The Rams were only 2 of 9 on 4th down conversions this year, but they were successful on this one, Everett finding Holohan for the lead. On the Rams' next possession, Everett found Gaston Green to increase their lead to 17-3. In the second half, Everett hit Henry Ellard for his 400th career reception. Then Ellard's 401st put him top of the Rams' all-time list. On the other side of the ball, Kozar was sacked 4 times, 3 of them by Kevin Green. For the Browns owner, Art Modell, it was too much to bear. After having gone 3 games without a touchdown pass, Jim Everett finally had 4 against the Browns, each one to a different receiver. As things got worse for his opposite number, Kozar even resorted to using his left hand. And although Kevin Mack did get a consolation touchdown for the Browns, the final score was still a comfortable 38-23 for the Rams. The Browns have now lost 7 straight.
Well, you just saw Roger Craig walking into the locker room before that break. He has a hit pointer, it looks like, and you won't probably see where the needle went in, but I think when we see a Craig again, if we see him, he will have a numb right side.
Down for the holidays. At the 20-yard line, the Giants on 1st and 10. And Sims gets popped It's a live ball. It is picked up by Anderson. So the play is still going, and Anderson gets back past the line of scrimmage, takes it to the 22-yard line. He's tackled by Kugler, and Haley is hurt.
Yeah, that might be the biggest part of this play was the chop block that came back on Haley. Charles Haley was in pursuit, and you see him hobbling off the field.
He left last week's game with a bad knee too, Dan.
Well, Haley, interesting. He's the guy that caused all this. It was Charles Haley coming on a blitz from the top of the formation, hits Phil Simms, that knocks the ball loose. Boy, you can see him move to the inside on Eric Moore, rather. And that is a fumble all the way. But watch Haley if we get a shot of him when he gets up.
First fumble of the game. It turns out to be a 2-yard gain, and Anderson then takes it to the 26. It'll be 3rd and 4. Matt Millen makes the tackle. So Haley is shaken up. Craig is back in the locker room right now.
You know, there's Haley getting up after it, and there's the block from the side. Doug Riesenberg comes in and takes him down. A legal block. A legal block all the way by Riesenberg, and Charles Haley nicked.
3rd down and 4 at the 26. 9:20 remaining. 3rd quarter, still 7-3 49ers. Simms incomplete. Waymer with the coverage, and the celebration. Troy Kiles can't hold on. 4th down. 11th punt of the game coming up.
Waymer making big plays all night long for the 49ers. Again, that was one that should have been caught by Kiles. Waymer, however, was right there. And what a loss for the 49ers if they lose Charles Haley. He has 12 of their 32 sacks.
You better make
Watch
it
play the run tough.
Make it 13. That was number 13, that hit on Simms.
Landetta's kick, a good one. Room for Taylor to roam. Fumbles the ball. Tries to get it back. It's loose, and out of bounds it goes. It'll belong to the 49ers at the 32-yard line.
You know, what a smart play by John Taylor. I'm not so sure that he wasn't trying to swat the ball out of bounds. Rather than gather it back, it almost looked like he tried to swat the ball out of bounds. What an intelligent play by Taylor. Now watch how it's forced out right there. You can see the ball come loose. David Whitmore hits it, but he's trying to swat the ball out of bounds. Rather than try to pick it up in traffic where it might get knocked out again. An intelligent play by John Taylor.
Would have had a clean swat too, except it hits his body on the way out. And for the moment, it's an anxious moment for the 49ers staying in, but it finally winds up going out of bounds.
That almost backfired.
Yes. 51-yard kick, 8-yard run back. 8:59 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 49ers have it when we come back. 7-3 San Fran.
Harry, we talked about the gods of football and it turning maybe against the 49ers. Last week they said it did against the Rams. We just saw a big fumble, and the Giants able to pick it up and actually gain 2 yards from it. Does that happen in football, that teams get the breaks and others don't?
I think it does, and this was really a freakish play. Otis Anderson really was in the right place at the right time, and you see Phil Simms even gets in on this play. So, you know, things happen on the football field. As they say, the ball bounces in a very, very strange way. But, you know, you can tell in this game, the momentum has shifted from the Giants to the 49ers. They have gas in their tanks, as I said before, and Joe Montana has been taking chances going down the field, throwing his passes, not just settling for the very short passes that he's been going with, but he's been going down the field, and they got that from that touchdown pass that he threw to John Taylor.
Riesenberg hitting Haley. Looks like he may have not a dirty hit, but it looks like he may be injured. How much of a factor is that for the 49ers
Well,
defense?
that's really going to put a lot of pressure on them as far as their pass rush is concerned, because Charles Haley is their best pass rusher, but also, you know, Roger Craig is out now, and how is that going to affect them offensively, you know, with him coming out of the backfield? When they had Roger Craig isolated on Pepper Johnson, that was a mismatch.
All right, well, let's get back to the stadium. Harry says the momentum's changed and it's in the 49ers' favor.
On the run back, 49ers were penalized for holding called against Bill Romanowski. That sets them back to the 13-yard line. 1st and 10. They lead by 4. Montana off the fake, throws over the middle, and underneath it's caught by Dexter Carter, the rookie from Florida State, their top draft choice, who is playing right now because Roger Craig, you saw, went back to the locker room, and we're still awaiting a report on what appeared to be perhaps a hip pointer.
It's not that Dexter Carter has not been in this role before. Craig hurt his hip in the opening game of the season, later hurt his knee, so he's been playing rather infrequently up until the past couple of weeks, and it has been Dexter Carter, the #1 draft pick out of Florida State, that has filled in.
The report on Craig, bruised right hip. He's back in the locker room at the moment. He will return. 2nd and 1. That's Wesley Walls in motion, Lawrence Taylor's best buddy. Carter squirts out to the 31. Sidebar to this game, of course, last year it was Walls who threw the block on Taylor, resulting in the hairline fracture of the ankle, and that gave a few people something to write about and talk about this week.
Yeah, Walls has never been, let's put it this way, he's not been happy about the amount of publicity that's generated. In his own defense, he says, well, Lawrence Taylor has never said that I cheap shotted him. He said it was a legal block, and I've never heard LT say anything about me cheap shotting him. He's getting a whole lot of publicity that he doesn't think he deserves.
1st down, Niners at the 30-yard line. 7.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Montana takes off. Takes it out to the 38-yard line. Stopped by Everson Walls. Again, pretty much buttoned up here in the 3rd quarter. You know, if this game were a political football, I suppose it would be extreme right wing.
Yeah, but
very conservative.
At least the 49ers here have opened it up. They've had 2 first down plays on this drive. One was a successful pass to Dexter Carter, then the run on 2nd and short, which gained big yardage, and now another attempted pass on 1st down. Joe Montana takes the ball, and look again, they're facing a 2nd and 1. It's a 2nd and 1 is a dream come true, and you hear the ovation for this guy coming back out onto the field.
2nd and a long one from the 39. Here's Carter again. Tunnels his way just past the 40 and close to a 1st down behind a Guy McIntyre block. And Dale Hamer may call for a measurement.
He slithered close to 1. Carter is only 5'9" and 178 pounds, but much like the Giants' Dave Meggett, he plays much bigger than that.
Yards per carry, the starters this season. Remember, the league average is an even 4. There's Craig barely over 3, Rathman under 3, but Harry Sidney's done well in a reserve role, and Dexter Carter has done better than the 2 starters. Third and inches.
Well, Frank, if they still do it the way they used to, if it was Roger Craig's hip pointer that was bothering him again, he went into the locker room and got a shot of cortisone right into that hip.
Punch it up with a little Novocaine and zap it in there, and ooh, will it smart tomorrow.
I think you and I have both danced to that tune before.
3rd and inches.
Doesn't make us very smart, does it?
No. Harry Sidney is in the game along with Tom Rathman. And it is Rathman burrowing for what he hopes is those necessary inches, and they are. Diassi makes the stop, but not until the 49ers keep the drive going. 6:10 to play, 3rd quarter. Charles Haley, the report on Haley was a bruised or a leg cramp. He will return.
Well, that is good news. He's a great football player, and every time somebody goes down and grabs for the knee, as a former player, you look at it and say, you just hope it didn't happen.
Well, they're working on Haley, and I also noticed John Taylor is on the bench, and they're working on him as well at the moment. 1st down from the 41-yard line. Carter in motion. Montana, before getting sandwiched, fires incomplete to the 42-yard line, intended for Wilson. Taylor and Marshall.
Oh,
that ever-present firm was right there.
Oh, that hurt. To deliver that ball, Montana knew that he was going to take a shot, and he did. And again, good coverage forced Montana to look for the alternate receiver. And he gets sandwiched just as he releases it. Marshall and Taylor.
One other thing about the Giants defense, we mentioned Carl Banks activated tonight after that broken wrist. He's been out a month and a half, and yet Banks has not been in the game tonight. On second and long, nothing develops in the form of blocking for Dexter Carter as Gary Reasons is there to break the play up. There is Carl Banks, who's been nothing but a spectator tonight. Funny thing about, you take a look at the Giants. We talked about Elliott. He's been hurt. They still haven't been able to put him on injured reserve. Takes up a roster spot. Banks not playing tonight.
I think they would love to get through this game without having to go with Banks. They have been going all night long with 5 linebackers, and the linebacker that is out of there is Johnny Cooks, who fills in for Banks.
3rd and 9. John Taylor, who they were working on a moment ago, is back in the game. Montana the fake, and then tries to dump it off, and it gets batted at the line of scrimmage. Leonard Marshall appeared to get a hand on it.
Again, good coverage on the part of the Giants downfield. Montana looking for a receiver downfield. First down yardage. Nobody uncovered, and he had to try to dump it off. It's kind of a helter-skelter, and it's incomplete.